Thanks for tuning in on Brock Page, and if you want to save yourself some time, check out my picks for this video in the description section below. Once again, I'm not a sports betting expert, just a fan. For my last NBA pick show, I went just 5-6 with a push. That said, let's get into some picks for the 20th. Toronto at Charlotte. Against the spread, I like Toronto +2, and 66% of the bettors agree. On the total points, I like the under 216, and when it comes to the money line cash, I'm taking Toronto to win this one outright. Toronto's covered an impressive 78% of their games this year as the road underdog. Charlotte's covered just 8 of 24 against teams winning more than 55%. Speaking of Charlotte, their last 3 consecutive games have gone under the total posted points. Once again, Toronto +2, under 216. Toronto for some money line cash. Next game, Milwaukee at Orlando. Against the spread, I like Milwaukee -1.5. On the total points, I like the over 209. And when it comes to the money line cash, I'm taking Milwaukee laying 150. In games this season where Milwaukee was laying 1 to 4 points, they've covered an impressive 71% of those matchups. On the other side, Orlando's covered just 27% as the official home underdog. On a lighter note, both teams have gone over the total points in 4 of their last 5. Once again, Milwaukee -1.5, the over 209, Milwaukee laying 150. Next game, Portland at Philadelphia. Against the spread, I like Philly +2.5. On the total points, I like the under 210. And when it comes to the money line cash, I'm taking the Philadelphia 76ers to win this one outright. Philly's hot right now, winning 7 of their last 9 outright while covering the spread in all but one of those games. On the other side, Portland's in the middle of a 3-game skid and in the 3rd game of their East Coast road trip. When it comes to the total points, Philadelphia games have gone under the line in 5 of their last 6. Once again, Philly +2.5, the under 210, Sixers outright for some money line cash. Next game I have for you, Chicago at the Atlanta Hawks. Against the spread, I like Atlanta -4.5, and 54% of the bettors agree. On the total points, I like the over 202.5, and when it comes to the money line cash, I'm taking Atlanta laying 225. Along with covering the spread in their first matchup, Atlanta's covered 7 of their last 10 games and have won 9 of their last 11 outright. Their games have also gone over the total posted points in their last 3 consecutive. On the other side, Chicago's covered just 25% of their games when getting around 4.5 points. Once again, Atlanta -4.5, the over 202.5, Atlanta outright laying 225. Next game, Sacramento at Memphis. Against the spread, I like Sacramento +7. On the total points, I like the over 200 even. And when it comes to the money line cash, I'm taking Memphis laying 290. Speaking of Memphis, they failed to cover in 3 of their last 4, while Sacramento's covered an impressive 70% in games around the current spread. When it comes to the total points, Sacramento games have gone over the line in 2 of their last 3. Once again, Sacramento +7, over 200, Memphis laying 290. Next game I have for you, Golden State at Houston. Great matchup here. Against the spread, I like Houston +5.5. On the total points, I like the under 237.5. And when it comes to the money line cash, I'm taking Golden State laying 220 in a close one. Houston's covered a remarkable 78% of their games as the underdog and 2 of their last 3. On the other side, Golden State's won 5 straight with back-to-back wins against Cleveland and OKC by an average of 28 points. That said, Golden State games have gone under the total points in 4 of their last 5. Once again, Houston +5.5, the under 237.5, Golden State laying 220. Next and final game, Indiana at LA Lakers. Against the spread, I like Indiana -3, and 70% of the bettors agree. On the total points, I like the under 221, and when it comes to the money line cash, I'm taking Indiana laying 155. In their last 8 games, Indiana's covered 6 of those matchups, and they've won 7 of those contests straight up. On the other side, LA's lost 5 straight and have failed to cover in all of those matchups. When it comes to the total points, both teams have played in games going under the line in 2 of their last 3. Once again, Indiana -3, the under 221, Indiana laying 155. Well, folks, that's going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. If for some reason you decide to use the information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Predictions and Sports Picks, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.